Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to this briefing. What we would like to do is, besides the fact that Toastmasters has a very set club officer training, which normally is centered around before the meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting for every specific role, we really felt that there is something that we would like to set as a tone in terms of training, and that's what we're going to be dealing with today. Thank you so much for putting up your hand to serve your club as a club officer. Of course, anytime we put our hands up to serve, to lead, it means it requires some of our time. But if you are going to spend that time, we trust that through this presentation, you will be able to learn how you can make that time valuable and that it can relate to your own personal, professional, or business life. We are going to look today at know what the club mission is and how do you align knowing what the club mission is to when you are working for a company, their club mission, or your personal life mission. To utilize that and go through the process of realizing it and that you can have the success that go with it. Therefore, know what part of achieving the mission your officer role will contribute and how. And then you're going to begin with the end in mind by collectively as officers create that strategy, which is your club success plan. And we'll share more about that. You need to know your KPIs. What are your key performance indicators? And they are on the dashboard sharing the deliverables in order for you to reach the success of that mission. So you're going to learn where to find them. What do they mean? Which ones relate to your office? And what do you need to do to move that dial? And of course, it's the team that makes the dream. So how do you select your team? How do you sell the vision to them? Get buy-in that is connected to their why. And then to strategize team goals and to divide the load. But most important is to create that culture of care where you can connect meaningfully to each other and to the club members in order to realize the mission. We're going to share with you about celebrating success. We will share with you some incentives that you can encourage your club members to work towards in order to realize those dreams and that mission to see it come to pass. Along the road, what legacy will you or your team leave? Now remember, success is in the succession. Ideas of how to be very successful by leaving a very successful team behind. Know your entire office portfolio. Understand who will do what by when. Then we're going to include in our one-pager for you other items that will share about what is the golden quarter, what is the purpose of it and the focus of it, and what do you need to do to accomplish and that it can be the best for your club. We're going to share with you some other resources that all the different officers would be needing and a year calendar that you can use and the link to your officer handbook. Buckle up, stay tuned, and let's get started. In Toastmasters leadership development, what are some of the basics that we need to look at as a leader? And who will be doing what? So we felt that it was really important to start at know what the club mission is. The mission of a Toastmasters club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And that each person coming into a club, let alone club officers, the club members, club officers, everybody must know what a club mission is. Why do we want that? Because everything that I'm going to present to you today is the fact that we are here is because we are Toastmasters wanting to learn more. We want to develop ourselves. And the fact that we've put up our hands for leadership, whether you were dragged in here by somebody or whether you volunteered for it, If you want to learn leadership, this is where you're going to learn it. And if you weren't ready to realize that you're going to be learning about leadership, FYI, you're going to be learning about leadership now, because this is the journey. In being a leader, the first thing you need to know is, what is it you're supposed to accomplish? Whether it's a job, for a project, for self, for your life, wherever it is. So here in Toastmasters, we're going to use this scenario to train you in how you can do it and upskill yourself accordingly. This is a great opportunity for you to be able to learn how to align yourself with the mission, whether you believe it or want it or not. When you're in a work environment, you either get paid for accomplishing it or fired for not. So learn how to focus on a vision and accomplish it. So therefore, know what the club mission is. Then know what part of achieving the club mission your officer role will contribute to, and how. How will that happen? The best way to do that is to be able to begin with the end in mind. And that is when we get together and we have a collective, and collectively we create a strategy. And that, FYI, is your club success plan that needs to be completed. That's part of the strategy. And you notice I put in there short one. Listen carefully. You might know this, you might not know this. If you go onto Google and you type Toastmasters Club Success Plan, you will get a PDF, and it's probably about 25 pages long. But if you go into Club Central and you're going to look at the Club Success Plan where you upload it, there is a place where you download it. And that one, I believe, is only 11 pages. So I would suggest we immediately download the version that they would like uploaded and focus on that. There is a Google form that I can release the link of in the group for everybody, where there are a number of questions in that club success plan where they want everybody's input and consensus. How are we going to communicate? What is the priority? Blah, blah, blah. And for that, I created a Google form so that prior to that meeting, they can go and fill it in. The secretary takes that information, compiles it onto the form, arranges it that it is a representation of everybody's desires or what they suggested. And at the meeting, you don't have to go around the room listening to everybody. It's right there in front of you. This is what you said. Let's make a final decision. It helps to execute the decision making and the meeting much faster. Then we say, know your KPIs, the dashboard deliverables. And with that, I want to just for a second break out from here, and I want to go into the Toastmasters website. Here is a way to find the dashboard without logging in. Want to know what the KPIs are? Go to membership. Once you get to membership, go a little bit down until you get to Leadership Central. Within any organization or whatever projects you are busy with, etc., there are KPIs, key performance indicators. They are there to help you. You monitor it, you watch it to see, are you accomplishing your mission? And the biggest thing is, we as officers, leaders, our job is to remember that whatever we do is to ensure that the member has a great experience. And whatever happens on the dashboard that looks good means it's a better experience for the member. Right, here we are at Leadership Central. If you go down to Distinguished Performance Reports and click on that, and then you will open up. We are Region 11. And look at this, this is so exciting. Look on the left-hand side. See, nobody is distinguished. Nobody. But there are so few that are distinguished, and we are one of the few. Okay, sorry, I get carried away. I just get excited about that. We are there. So here is our district's performance. The best thing to do for a club is to just collapse it, see which division they're in, and pick and go to it. Let me just go to Division B and say my club is the first Toastmasters Club of Madagascar. I click on that, and here is my club KPIs. We would really like you to make sure that every club officer finds this report, even whether they log into Toastmasters or not, but that they find this. And what do we want them to see when they look at this? We want them to understand, basically, they have two KPIs, this one and that one. And what does it mean? It means they need to understand that whatever this figure is to date must be equal or more to required. End of story. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what this says, it's not going to be considered. We first start here. It has to be that the members are equal to required or more. Then we look at the goals. It starts at 5 for distinguished, and this club has 10. This club qualifies and is President's distinguished. Let's just go back to that mission statement of every club. It is absolutely focused on the member having a great experience. Let's reread it. Whatever Toastmasters club provides a supportive, positive learning experience. That's what the club leaders do. They create that through the DCP, the Distinguished Club Program. And as a result of them doing that, in which members, those are the ones having the great experience, are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Having that in mind, understanding that whatever we do, it is for the member to have the best experience. And of course, if the member has the best experience, so do I. Well, if we look at the 10 DCP goals we want to achieve, out of the 10, the first 6 are focused at education. And we know that retention for a club is way better than having to keep on going to look for new people. And there's even a reward for retaining members. When the VPE focuses on achieving these 6 goals for the club, they will be the key factor in making sure there is great retention. The next one we move on to are members. Goals 7 and 8 are for new members, adding 4 new member plus 4 new members. Then we move to training. That's your learning and development, the HR department with its learning and development. If we do not train our club officers, because each one of us comes in for a year, we've got a year to do the best, and then we move on to the next position in our learning journey. That's why you need to attend the 2 club officer trainings. The best thing is if all 7 club officers attend those trainings. And the last one is the administrative part. This is where our treasurers can shine by making sure we are renewed on time or even way ahead of time and earn the Treasurer's Excellence Award. And finally, the secretary is there to upload the club officer lists on time. So these are the 10 Distinguished Club Program goals that we are working towards as club officers, as leaders. These are our KPIs. These are what help us to create a quality club in which we ourselves will grow well and our members. Know your KPIs, the dashboard deliverables. Where to find it? What do they mean? Which ones relate to my office? What do I need to do to move the dial? That's the critical part where it aligns with the club success plan. Then it's the team that makes the dream. We really want to encourage every club officer to have their team, and a team might just be an assistant. I know Toastmasters International does not have a team for the president because the rest of the club officers are the president's team. So that one is settled. Hopefully the club officers team is full. VPE, they suggest you have 2. VPM, they suggest you have 2. And VPPR, they suggest you have 2. But they have no suggestions for Secretary, Treasurer, and Sergeant at Arms or IPP. Our suggestion is, do identify somebody that you can walk a journey with as Secretary and walk with as Treasurer and definitely as Sergeant at Arms, because you might not be able to make it to a meeting. And as it is your responsibility to fulfill that role, that you have somebody that the two of you stand in for each other. The IPP's team would presumably be the mentors, because the suggestion is that the immediate past president assists the VPE with creating mentors, especially at least for new members in the club, to take them up to level 1. We find that if you at least tell, sometimes people don't want to be mentors, they think it's a long job and they don't have time. So what we do is ask, please, will you just take this new member to the end of level 1, that we can celebrate them? That's all I ask. Sometimes that is an easy way to get people on board. And then later on, when they assemble a team to help with elections, that would be another team. So in looking at those teams, what would they be doing? It's selecting your team. Then you need to learn to sell the vision of the club and how we fit in. So sell your vision and your part. Then this is critical. Don't know how to stress this one. But if we want to have teams on board, connected, vibrant, excited about growing, help them understand what they are busy doing, how it connects to their why. So you'll have to find out what their why is and constantly be speaking to their why, the members of your team. And that's what we want every team member to be able to do. We would like you to celebrate success in any format, whatever department or officer you are. And we want to remind you that success is in the succession. So somewhere it's going to say, what kind of legacy are you leaving behind? So we want you to start by whatever discomforts you find, something that wasn't there when you started, create it and put it on a drive so that it is ready for somebody else to take further. The last thing that I want to address, and then I'm going to hand over to Zavai to take from there, is this. I have an administrative suggestion towards every club. This is the suggestion, that every club creates for that specific club a Gmail email. When you do that, let every one of the club officers have the connection to it so that whoever is speaking to the club, that they can deal with it accordingly. However, the moment that happens, it immediately opens up for the club a Google Drive that everybody can access. Then you create some folders. You create an Exco folder, and inside the Exco folder, what I did was make 01 President, 02 VPE, so that they're nicely in order, because it doesn't work with my brain if they throw them alphabetically. So I did that way. And then what I did was, in the Exco group, in the description of the Exco group on WhatsApp, I put the link down to the Exco folder. So in the VPE folder is all the planning and everything that they have for the members. The VPM folder has the guest packs and forms to fill in for membership, and a folder that says members forms. And then every person that sends a member form in gets filed in there, and we have access to it, and we have it online. And so every office has their forms. That means when the leadership changes, the information stays the club's. and not what you have, where people file it on their own little things, and when they leave, nobody has access to it and it's gone. It's exactly what I've done for district as club growth director, doing it as PQD, because I feel that is critical to the success of the institution. And with that, I want to just check, is there any question for that which I've presented? Can I hand over to my beautiful twin sister? She is not going to be so dramatic as I am. She's going to be beautifully professional, very chirpy and cheeky. Over to you, my twin.
Thank you, Granny B. Granny B, if you could then share the one slide that lists all 10 CFRs. So during club officer training, we will have the district director address, well, the welcome, the district director address, and then we're also then going to have an educational from the PQDs. And the educational is going to be on the club fitness rewards. This year, we will not be having the Level Up campaign. Focus is going to be on the club fitness rewards. And you'll find that within the club fitness rewards, there is what's called the Magic 5, where if a member in the program year registers 5 awards, then they're going to qualify for that award. And so when we look at the other items that have been listed on that briefing checklist is the golden quarter, which is our July, August, and September. And of our club fitness rewards, 6 of them are falling within the golden quarter, meaning we can start talking about them and promoting them. So even as you go through the training specific to the various club officer roles, find a way of where you can then bring in those club fitness rewards. So like I said, we will have an educational for all the attendees or participants, the club officer training. And then when you get into the breakout rooms, we've got the DCP sprint that starts from July until end of December. We have the Treasurer's Excellence, which will be for the 20th of September, which is within the golden quarter, which helps with getting our members renewed. And renewals are already starting now, 1st of July. Well, they've already started. And if people are to benefit from that $45 as opposed to be paying the new member fee, they need to then renew before or by the 31st of July. So there's the Treasurer's Excellence, the Retention Award. They then retain the 75 members. So maybe in the discussions, you could look at how members can then be retained. The Magic 5 I've spoken about, which will speak into member setting goals and the club officers assisting members to set goals. Then also then have the Smedley Award, which runs August and September, which is also within the golden quarter. Then the full house 7x7 club officers trained. The one we're doing on the 24th is the district-led club officer training. A schedule will then be sent out. As from the 15th of July, there will be division-led or division-run club officer trainings. So if any of their club officers have not then managed 24th of June, we are to then be encouraging them to hold each other accountable to ensure that all their other officers are then trained. So those are then the 6 club fitness rewards that are falling within the golden quarter, and some starting on the 1st of July and running right through to December. So that's on the golden quarter. As I mentioned, our focus is mainly to say, how can we weave in the club fitness rewards as we are training on the various roles. My recommendation, this I did when I was club president in my club, as we were working on the club success plan, We also then set goals on the club fitness rewards to say, as a club, which ones are we going to be going for and how do we intend to achieve them? And we found that really helped for us to achieve our 10 DCP goals at the end of the program year. And we're actually then going for the DCP sprint to have the 10 goals by end of March. So that will then help with the key performance indicators for the district. Also, bring in the resources that are there, which is the club officer handbook. And within the club officer handbook, there's the calendar as well, such that each club officer then knows what they are responsible for and by when it is needed. And from my end, that's it. Any